Thanks very much. My name's Guy Fletcher. I'm chairman of the Performing Rights Society. I'm going to take this opportunity to let everybody know what we do. We represent 95,000 songwriters and composers. We are a monopoly, actually, so that we represent all songwriters and composers in this country. We license their music, collect their money, and pay them. So we're kind of at the epicenter of the copyright business, the business of songwriting, which has never been better represented than by these guys here. I've been a songwriter for 50 years myself, and in common with my colleagues, I can tell you that in a very long career, if you have half a dozen real successes, real spikes of success, you're doing really well. These guys occupy a whole other order of magnitude. The stuff that most songwriters can only dream of. 16 number one albums, 18 number one singles, 300 million records sold. And it all started here on the 18th of July 1970, their first proper gig. This award, the Heritage Plaque, is unique, really, in that it allows us to recognise two things. We obviously honour an iconic band or a successful group, but it also helps us to recognise the value of live music and the important part that venues play in the life of live music. So that's what makes this special. Freddie, Brian, Roger and John, over the past 40 years, have touched generation after generation of music lovers, with the consequence that their fan base stretches from 8 to 80. And this is evidenced on a daily basis by all the people that pack in to see We Will Rock You in London, now going into its 12th year? 11 or 12 years, it's a lot. Well, this is our 13th Music Heritage Award, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to present it not only to Brian and Roger, but also to this august seat of learning. The Imperial College has produced some of the world's greatest names in medicine, astrophysics, biology, and at least one rock legend who is both a rock legend and an astrophysicist. It's a first for us. And the PRS Heritage Award serves to remind us that you can't replace live music. And this little plaque here, which actually will be fixed outside in Prince Consort Road permanently, will remind everybody of the Queen legacy and the role that venues play in launching the careers of our best musicians. It's a privilege to be here, to be amongst so many friends, family, peers, and perhaps even those who are looking down on us from above. It's a very special moment, as was the 18th of July 1970. That too was a special moment. I'm going to unveil this thing before it grows dust. Thank you very much for listening. Watch this.
Thank you, Guy. Roger's off. Roger's had enough already. Shall I go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Guy. That's a fantastic speech, and thank you very much also the President of the Union. Very well spoken. I didn't realise I was going to feel so much about this, really. It is an amazing thing for us to see this happen and to realise that we've become sort of part of history in so many ways, but in particular in this building where it actually did all start. I remember very distinctly, as if 'twere yesterday, meeting Roger in the little room on the next floor in that corner, which then in those days was the jazz club room. And Roger sat down and started sort of tapping around the edges of drums. I went, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm tuning the drums." And I said, "I've never seen anybody do that before." Because the people that I'd played, we'd basically just hit things. And Roger was a craftsman, and as soon as he started to play, something amazing happened to me. I have to say, you know, he had a particular way of combining the elements of what he was doing. And as soon as I started playing with him, something kind of magical happened. I have to say, it sounds corny, but it did. It happened instantly. We just gelled. And actually, our history starts and continues because in the next room over, it's currently some sort of refectory there, but it used to be a kind of lounge bar, and we used to play there as Smile, Roger and me and Tim Staffel, and we used to just come in and basically jam. We'd play things like If I Were a Carpenter for about half an hour, kind of improvising and feeling our way, and it was very loud. So some people loved it, and some people, you know, we got into kind of trouble with some people because it wasn't very cool to be doing that in those days. It was all right if you were playing jazz, that was kind of a recognisable thing, that was okay, or if you were playing classical. But, you know, rock music was very much frowned upon, and it was not a discipline in any sense in those days. You couldn't study to be a rock star. So I'm really, really thrilled that we are now part of the fabric of this building. And thank you so much to PRS. It's funny, it's the sort of thing that you expect to happen when you're dead, isn't it, really? So I'm really very happy that we're still alive to enjoy this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, great.
Roger will now...
Well, you know,
Really, thank you.
oh, thanks, Brian. I mean, he sort of said it already, but I didn't actually go to Imperial. I was at the London Hospital Medical on the other end of town, but I lived around here, and we did sort of grow up in this building. And so this Union building really was sort of mine, really, as well. And so in that sense, so we really did start here in the old jazz room up there. And we did do our first important shows here, and we grew up. We used to rehearse in the lecture theatres over the road there near the tower. And so it really was a seminal part of our origin. And this is actually very nice. I found myself quite affected when the curtains went back. And I gather it's going outside in Prince Consort Road. So that's it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much, PRS. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Listen, call up, didn't cry, like a lady, didn't cry all night, swing to the jive.